Ooh, we're getting some different colors.
I'm Kyler Grover.
And I'm Hayden Grover.
And I'm Dad Grover. It's been a couple of months since we were in the machine shop over there at Thunder Racing Engines with this engine, and you may have noticed it looks a little bit different. Today, we are going to mock this engine up with all of our parts. Some of the stuff we're not going to use the gaskets and the sealant and stuff on, because we're going to do this so that I can show these guys how all of this stuff goes and like where it all goes. But then I'm going to go back through and take some extra time and make sure everything's going to seal up properly and all that kind of stuff. So today is the day that you guys and this guy gets to see what the engine's going to look like. So let's go! Yahoo! Okay, Hayden, you ready? So what we're going to do is we're going to start down here on the bottom. We've got our oil filter hooker on thingy. You can see that everything's taped up. If you guys like this color, this is what we used. It is a VHT engine enamel. It's Ford light blue. Something that I learned along the way on this is that you can actually use automotive paint like car paint because of the way that it cures, because it's got a hardener that you mix into it. And so if you guys look at the high-end build cars, oftentimes they'll paint match their engine to the exterior or the interior or whatever. I decided not to do that because we were on kind of a tight time crunch because we had soccer for Kyler and cross country for both Kyler and Hayden, and so that's why it's been a couple of months since we were in the machine shop, and that's why we're back here at home in the garage to finish this thing up, because we're working on a very limited amount of time because I only have these guys every other weekend. The rest of the time they're at their mom's. So anyway, that's the paint. If you want to copy us, this is the stuff there. So everything's still taped up so that we don't get any dirt or anything in it. That's really super important. Just a little bit of dirt in your engine will mess it up. So if you guys are doing this at home, make sure that you tape up all the ports, anything that goes inside the engine, make sure it's covered up. So we'll start right here. We're going to use this Wix filter. I went through and watched some videos on the best filters. This was one of the best ones. So something to think about. This brand, just Wix brand in general, they make a very good filter. So when you're putting on a filter, it's just a regular oil filter. The reason these are good is because the media that's inside of them is very, very good. There's a lot of it, and it filters out a lot of bad stuff. So for those of you that haven't changed oil, there's this little rubber seal here, and you want to put a little bit of oil on it before you put it on there, and that just helps it seal up better. And we'll put a little tiny bit on the threads too. I'm going to use this royal purple 520 that we used in another vehicle because it's what I have in the garage right here. This isn't what we're going to run in the engine. We're going to run 1030. So hold that please, sir. You want to get your fingers dirty, or you want me to? Me? So we're just going to take a little dabbly do. Yes, royal purple really is purple. If you're wondering, have a gander. Oh yeah, we have another camera right here if you're wondering why I didn't come to you guys. It's because I came to you right there instead of right there. Camera 1, camera 2, camera 1, camera 2. Now we'll put a little on the threads. Okay, and then go ahead and screw that up there, buddy. Make sure it doesn't cross thread. Okay, that is the 51515, by the way. Okay, now let's move up. Now on top of the little oil filter thingy here is where a sensor goes. If you look on your vehicle, some of your vehicles will have a thing that says oil pressure, and it'll say how much oil pressure you have. That little guy goes right here. And it looks like this. We got this one from Summit Racing. It's a standard PS60 is the part number. So go ahead and pull that tape out of there. And this already has some pipe threading on it, and it has a little tiny hole. I'll show you there. It's got a little tiny hole in it where the oil can go up in there, and then it's got a little thingy here, little nut that the wires hook onto. So I'll go ahead and throw that gate in there. That just threads in there like that, maybe. No, see if there's anything else in this box. Fine, guy. Was it reverse thread? Would that be funny? Oh, there we go. I just had it the wrong angle. Now it is time to install our spark plugs. We're using the Autolite Platinum plugs. They're basically a platinum version of the factory plug, and we're going to gap them. The gap for these engines is between 0.032 and 0.035. We're going to gap these at about 0.033. The reason we're going to have a little bit tighter gap is because we have a little bit bigger cam and I want a little bit hotter fire in there. And so having a little bit closer together is going to give us a little bit hotter fire. The way that you do that, for those of you who don't know, this is a spark plug gap tool, and these little numbers on it, the bigger the number gets, the bigger that thickness gets as it goes around. I don't know if you can see that or not, but basically you line up the number, you stick the little thing on there, and you line it up with what number it's at, and that tells you what your gap is at. If you need a little bit more gap, you can do it like this. So I'll go ahead and show you how that works. We'll open these bad dogs up. I got these from Summit Racing also. They're a very inexpensive plug, but they're a pretty good one. So there's your spark plug. This is a ceramic. Kyler was just asking about that. Up here is it's called the electrode, and that's where your little platinum is, that teeny tiny little thingy at the tip. And what happens is juice gets shot through here, all the way up through there, and then this thing here is grounded to the engine, and so it shoots a little spark through there. Every time juice gets shot through there, it grounds out and sparks, okay? And that's your spark plug, or that's your spark from your spark plug. So this distance right between here, where my fingernail's at, that's what we're setting the gap at, okay? And so we want it to be at about 0.033. So we'll stick it on there and we'll see where it's at right now. Holy guacamole, right now we're at about 0.044, okay? So that's way higher than we want to be. So we're gonna go ahead and tap it back down in. And I'm just barely tapping that thing. And I'm just tapping this tip down a little bit. That took us down a little bit to about 0.039. I'm gonna tap it on the concrete here. What in the world? We're way high. So we'll go ahead and get these all gapped to 0.033, and then we will be right back so you can see us install them.
Need that.
You need this? Watch. Heads or tails?
Heads.
Which one was heads?
The one it's landed on.
Oh. Did I get you? Dang it. Did I get you? Did I get you? Did I get you? Now you've got threads, and then you got threads down there. You got to get it just at the right angle or it won't start. If it doesn't thread in easy, then you've got it cross-threaded, which means that instead of going straight, you got it wonky. And then you're gonna mess up your threads, and that's no good. So go ahead and stick her down in there. Don't let any junk get down in there. Ours is nice and shiny, but when you're changing them normally when it's in the vehicle, sometimes you'll have junk down in there. Blow it off good before you pull your plugs out and stuff. So always put your plugs in by hand. Always get them started by hand. And then once you know it's in there straight, then you can go ahead and use your tools.
Got it first try.
Good job. Next one. So I'm going to show you guys a little trick I did up here on our timing marks on our balancer. You can see that we got it painted blue, and you can see my little marks are red.
Blue.
So I'll show you a little trick on how I did that. What you do is you paint your blue and let it cure all the way. And then you take whatever color you want to do this in. And the way I did it is I took a toothpick and I used red caliper paint, the same stuff that's on the brake calipers on the truck. and I just wiggled it down inside of these, and then I just took a shop rag while it was still wet and then just wiped it off. And it takes a couple tries till you get the right pressure, because if you push too hard, you wipe it out of the little grooves, because there's little grooves right here. And if you don't push hard enough, you leave a smear all over it. But that's how I did it. And that way, when we've got the timing light on it, we're able to actually see what our timing is. And what timing is that's when the spark fires. So if you want it to fire right at top dead center, which is when the piston comes up and it's at the top, or if you want it like a little bit before or a little bit after or whatever, but that's outside of the realm of this video. So anyway, that's how you can do that to make it look cool. And you can do whatever color you want. There's guys too that'll spray paint it and wipe it off, but I didn't want it getting all over everything else. So that's why I did it like that. So the next thing up is we're going to untape this, and we're going to place the intake manifold. The intake manifold has a special story that I'll tell you here while these guys are untaping it. So you guys go ahead and get all this tape off. Listen to me, that's the inside of the engine. Don't let anything get inside the engine, okay? So be extremely careful how you do it. This ain't a Christmas present, it's an engine, okay? So anyway, while these guys are doing that, the intake manifold that we're gonna be test fitting on here is an Edelbrock Performer intake manifold. And it used to be my dad's manifold, and my dad has since passed away. He committed suicide, and that's something that hits a lot of people hard, and me included. So for those of you who are struggling with that, or know somebody who may be struggling with that, there's help out there. There's phone numbers that you can call to get some help. You can talk to a doctor. There's a lot of resources online and stuff. So please take the time to get help. Don't push forward on that. But anyway, that's what we're going to be test fitting on here. It's very special to me. I like the idea of having my dad's intake manifold on my kid's truck engine. So that's what we're going to do next here. If there's anything left after these yo-yos get done doing this, don't bend this, okay? Take it off very carefully. Wait, take it off very carefully, child.
I'm not a yo-yo.
We should have sponsored this by Durex condoms. Now you guys see why it's better to wrap it up than to have kids, because then you gotta deal with this kind of shit all the time while you're trying to get something done. Welcome to the inside part of the valve train, I guess you'd say. These are our cylinder heads. Move that out of the way, dude. In here, this is our windage tray. Well, it doesn't matter what's under there. Anyway, what happens is you get your little push rods that go down in there. They go onto a thingy that's hooked to the camshaft. As the camshaft spins, it lifts up the little push rod, whoop, and it's hooked to these, and then opens and closes the valves, okay? These are your cylinder heads. So your air and fuel comes in here and goes in through these holes, right? And then it goes down into the engine, and then it'll come out these holes out the exhaust. The push rods that are gonna go in here, since this is just a test fit, we're not gonna have them on here, okay? So don't be commenting like crazy, dude, you forgot your push rods. Remember, I'm taking this back off, and I'm gonna go through and do it when I don't have quite so much professional help required. So let's go ahead and you guys grab the intake manifold and we'll set it on here. It's a good idea to do this anyway. We're just gonna test and make sure that the thing's gonna fit and that we don't have any clearance issues or anything. And then we'll kind of go from there, and we'll go into the valve covers and stuff and make sure it all fits. Okay. Now, there's Dad's intake manifold. Right there. Go ahead, dry if you want. Almost did. So this hole right here goes on the front where the distributor's gonna go. You guys gonna be able to pay attention to this? Okay, that goes there. So we're gonna set it down on there very carefully, hopefully without squishing my fingies. We're gonna make sure that the thing fits. All right, watch out, move your fingers. I'm glad we don't have okay, look out, let me get under there and look. So we're tight on the cylinder heads, but see that gigantic gap right there? That's huge. That's no bueno. We may end up having to actually run a different manifold. We'll have to see. I can fill that with sealant. I don't know if I want to or not. Oh man, look at that too. We're way off right there. What the heck's going on, man? The manifold fits like poo. See this? See that huge gap? That's supposed to be flat.
And right here is out more.
Yeah, we're fitting not good at all. At all. Well, we might not be using Dad's manifold, guys. That's pooey. Okay, whatever. We're still gonna show you guys what this engine's gonna look like. So, hand me that. We're gonna put this over to the side in a very safe, clean place. Let me get by your camera guy.
It's like my hat. It's like, wow. It's like a cowboy hat.
Okay. Shiny! Shiny! Get another one. Oh. That's so nice. Shiny! These are Transdapt valve covers. I got them from Summit Racing, who gave me a hat. Look at this. If you spend thousands of US dollars, you get a free hat. Ooh.
Hey, that's my fire hat.
His hat. It's mine though. Fighting board. I like it. We're using an Edelbrock 1406 1108 for this. It is 625 CFM carburetor. We have electric choke, right? We got different size primaries and secondaries. Should work out pretty sweet for this thing. So that, we're gonna clean it up nice. This is a used carburetor. So that will go on like that. And then let's get the air cleaner, which is over there somewhere on the floor. And then we have a drop base on this one. What a drop base means is it drops down. You don't need to do that quite yet. It drops down over the carburetor a little bit instead of a flat base. It gives you a little bit more hood clearance, and they're typically a little bit less expensive.
What's that?
What do you guys think? Stand back, have a gander. That's pretty much it. We'll have another blue thingy right here, and then we'll have our spark plug wires going over it. But that's pretty much what your engine's gonna look like. How is it? What do you guys think? You like it?
Yeah, but I get it first.
You like it?
Mm-hmm.
You like the way it looks?
I'm gonna electrocute Kyler to get it first. She was recording you.
Pretty cool.
Uh-uh.
I'm gonna step back and have a look at it here too.
You're gonna have a gander.
Gander. No, that looks pretty nice there, don't it? Okay, there it is. That's what the engine's gonna look like. I'm gonna take this apart. I'm gonna figure out the intake manifold deal, and then I'm gonna put it back together when I have my own thoughts only to use, and then we'll be putting it together with the transmission, and we'll be ready to install it in the truck. So here it is, ladies and gentlemen. What do you think, Kyler?
Shiny.
What do you think, Hayden?
Silver.
What do you think?
What do you
Comment
think?
below. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe so you can stay up to date on all of our new videos.
And get some hats.
And you can get hats at neverdoneUSA.com or shirts, or we got all kinds of cool stuff. It's automotive car guy gear.
And get two so you can do this.
You can get two so you can do that.
Like a firefighter.
That's right. Thank you very much for watching. We'll catch you on the next one.
Got a plain job, right on line, right on the floor. Got a built 460 and it's supercharged, 12 inches of lift, large and in charge. Keep my cowboy hat tilted to the side. Country thug giving him a hell of a ride. Now you see me fly by, got the 44 spinning, mud flipping, cow tipping.